Are some of the teams in Scotland trying to really do damage to the Scottish game? Hearts are the latest team to cut the allocation to away fans for Celtic down to a mere 650 seats. Remember the days where you would get the whole stand at Tynecastle? You remember the days gone by where you would get the whole Broomlands stand at Govan? The fact that they're doing this to every other team, bar Hibs. It's very interesting. Don't want to upset their city neighbours, do they? But the fact is, it's doing away with the atmosphere at football grounds. It's making it obviously harder to get away tickets for the thousands of fans that have been going to away games over the years. And what purpose does it do? Because let's face it, you got a lot of these grounds, and I think the last time that we played Hearts at home, there was loads of empty seats. So, I mean, are these clubs, you know, you've got Kilmarnock and that doing similar things. I mean, are these clubs selling out with season tickets? I don't think so, because they generally charge Celtic fans more when they come to town anyway, and that's been apparent for years. It's just one of those. It's like a self-destruct button in Scottish football, where they think that they're just reducing the Celtic allocation will make them play better, without looking at the monetary side of it, where it's maybe trying to get one over Celtic. Well, we'll just reduce your allocation. Do they want to get Scottish football where it comes down to there's no away fans whatsoever? There's one thing that is consistent, and the Celtic is making money. Celtic are a football club that are making more money than any other team in Scotland. It's been released this morning that the club across the city are going to have to sell players now to balance the books. You know, so whilst we get stronger and our away fan base maybe gets smaller, it's karma to the clubs that are going to financially struggle. So anyway, let's move on to some Celtic news other than the away allocation. I think it's just I feel for the guys that still go to games. I really do. Remember back at Christmas time, during the transfer window, there was a South Korea, Cho Chung-sung. Celtic were really after the guy from South Korea. He was a fantastic goal scorer. He was a pin-up boy in South Korea. And Celtic made an offer of a €3 million bid with a 50% sell-on clause up to €6 million. And an American team also made a $5 million offer with a 30% sell-off, and they refused both deals. They have just sold the player for nearly the €3 million that Celtic bid. I'm not sure if there's any add-ons, but they sold them to Midtjylland. So there you go. And I think it's a case that the player has missed out big time. FC Midtjylland's a good little team, but you know, could he have done better? There was big news yesterday, obviously last night broke that, and it was all over a lot of the Celtic accounts, that Matt O'Reilly is gaining some attention from clubs in Spain. So I thought I would look at the Spanish press, and I thought I would do some digging to see if the Daily Mail has got any truth in the story. Because let's face it, the Daily Mail is known for fabricating some BS. So I had a look at the Spanish paper. Obviously the first one I looked at was a Barcelona-based one. And I actually found out that Barcelona are going to play their first game of the season behind closed doors. It's rather unfortunate. Football España, absolutely nothing. But one of the clubs involved was Real Betis, right? So Real Betis were one of the clubs that were allegedly after Matt O'Reilly. But Barcelona have just sold a creative midfield player to Real Betis. So I think that's the Matt O'Reilly one. Real Betis probably closed down. Still no word of looking at more Football España.net. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. I thought I would try El País. And there's absolutely nothing in that. Football El Mundo. Nothing on El Mundo either. The next big one is La Vanguardia, and absolutely nothing on that either. And then the last one was also, there was nothing on that. So the big news here in Spain is the fact that Barcelona are basically ripping down their stadium to rebuild most of it. So is there any truth in the Matt O'Reilly story? Not that I could find. definitely in the Spanish papers. If anybody can find something, I mean, I've looked through as much of the Spanish press as I can, and there's absolutely nothing within the story coming from Spain. So, was it a red flag? Is it just a case of the Daily Mail trying to get clicks and sort of headlines? Probably. Is there any truth in it? I think Matt O'Reilly will still be a Celtic player this season unless an offer does come in. But then you never know, because you never know. Football's a funny old game. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. It's just a quick video this morning. Some Jota news kicking about. He gets down to work, and other than that, there's not a lot of Celtic transfer news kicking about this morning. If there is more news this afternoon, it's obviously quieting down a little bit whilst Celtic are obviously in Portugal, and this happened the same last year. There wasn't a lot of news when they were at the training camp, apart from the stuff that Celtic released. So have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world. Having looked at the Spanish papers, I can say there isn't a lot. Well, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing in regards to the Matt O'Reilly story. The one, I mean, even trying to look at the Valencia papers, there's absolutely nothing for that. Genks loan deal. Valencia have made a decision. Uruguayan, nothing. Absolutely nothing from the Valencian side. When you look at the Real Betis one, that was probably the most other one that was probably had any arms or legs on it, but they have just bought a Barcelona player. So, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.